Ahoy, everyone, and welcome aboard the DCL show where we're talking all things Disney Cruise Line. I am your captain, Rhino, and setting sail with me today are my co-captains, Elaine Edwards.
Hi, friends.
Chris Forbeck.
Hello, everybody.
Chloe America Ferreira.
Ahoy.
That is your official middle name, yeah?
Totally.
It's not. But she did say that to me before we started recording, so it's on her now. I just want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney Cruise Line vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you receive a shipboard credit of up to $1,000, as well as a sweet little cruise gift basket that's not exclusive to booking a Disney Cruise Line with Dreams Unlimited Travel either. So check them out at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com for a free, no obligation quote today. Okay, hey everybody, welcome aboard. Today I would like to have a little bit of a conversation about Disney Cruise Line for adults. I have some friends in my life that will oftentimes want to take cruises. They're like, let's do a cruise, let's go cruising. I don't know if they're talking about being on a ship or what, but they are saying they have this perception that Disney Cruise Line specifically is geared for like families or people with kids and stuff. And I have never cruised with children, obviously. Well, not obviously. I've never been with like my family or anything. So I'd like to talk a little bit about what there is to do for adults and why adults would want to book a Disney Cruise Line vacation. Maybe we could talk about some of your favorite activities or the things you've experienced on the ship and everything like that. So who wants to start? Why Disney Cruise Line, adults?
I'll start with my joke, which is the quietest place on planet Earth is the adult pool on a Disney cruise. Because you have a whole bunch of people who are there and they know one pool back is
and this is coming from someone who has a child, just so we're clear.
I do have a child.
Yes. Please,
and I adore
From
children.
your hate mail.
And right, no, they're not the quietest. Small people are not necessary. The amount of volume they put out is inversely proportional to their size.
Yeah.
But I literally saw on one of my Disney cruises somebody who pointed to the menu and said, was enjoying the peace and quiet and didn't want to talk. So just point. There are places where you can enjoy real quiet, and so I think it's a great place to enjoy. Now, I'd be interested to know.
Yeah.
You don't have kids, and you would do it anyway?
Yes.
Do cruise it? Well,
yes.
Clearly you do.
Yeah. A lot. I've sailed Disney Cruise Line. Gosh, I think I'm at 8 now, and all of them have been as a childless millennial.
No.
Yeah,
Get that pretzel, girl. Get that.
Yeah, I will get that pretzel. No, I love everything Disney Cruise Line has to offer, and I feel like a big part of why I keep going back is my love for Disney and the product itself, but also the crew and the guest service oriented environment that you know you're going to get every time, the cuisine and the adult spaces. Those are like my big heavy hitters with Disney Cruise Line, and the shows, of course. How can I forget about the shows? But the spaces on board, and I definitely do have my favorite ships that offer adult exclusive areas.
What's your I'm just curious, what is your favorite?
Favorite ship?
Or
favorite area?
ship, and then give me your favorite. Is it because of the adult area on the ship?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a double,
because that's what I'm looking
question.
for. Yeah, that's what I'm mainly looking for. And like Chris said, like it's the adult areas on those ships are quiet. Of course, the lounges at night may be a little bit of a different story, but
if
the
I'm there,
areas,
they will be.
Yeah, the Rainforest Room, the Satellite Falls area up at the top. They're all just so serene. You can just sit there with a book, and you really don't need headphones. You can just listen to the sound of the water and the air going, because people aren't.
Water going by.
Yeah. People aren't, having over the top loud conversations. There's not kids running around. It's just really relaxing. That being said, though, the nightlife, it might not be Virgin level or Royal Caribbean level nightclub life, but the game shows and the activities that they have for adults are really, really fun. And I love kicking off my cruise usually on like a 7-night. I think all of the however many night itineraries. The first night includes Match Your Mate, which is, do not miss that. Do not miss it. Even if you're single or whatever your situation is, do not miss that. It is such a hoot to go see that, because they typically choose like a couple that's just dating or newlyweds. They'll pick somebody that's been married for a couple of years, and then they'll try to find the couple that's been married the longest. And the shenanigans that come out of that, those questions, but also keeping it, we're on a Disney cruise, guys. It's always super fun.
It's Disney raunchy is what I always
call
it.
Disney raunchy. I love it.
It doesn't push.
Is that like Home on the Range?
It stretches the boundaries. It's not what you'll find in the kids area.
Yeah.
But they're not dropping F-bombs.
Right.
How's that?
Right.
Right.
It's really fun. Do you want me to keep going? I can keep
going.
Yeah,
no, please. I'm learning a lot about you.
Good. The Rainforest Room on the Dream and the Fantasy are by far my favorite. They have the jacuzzis that are on their own like little balcony overlooking the ocean.
Can you? I don't know, and I've heard Rainforest Room before from Elaine. Can you explain to me what that is?
Yeah, so it's an amenity that's part of the spa on board the ships. So they're all a little different based on each ship. And I feel like the Dream class, I've done that the most. I did try out the ones on the Wish, and I'm sure Elaine could elaborate on the differences too. But I haven't spent that much time on the newer one. It is beautiful,
I think it's hard on a 3 or 4 day cruise to spend much time. You don't have enough time.
Right.
So it's hard. But that front on the Wish, it's lower in the ship. But you do get that front area where it's covered, and they have those hanging seats and stuff. That feels like I toured it. That's all I did. I was on a 3-day cruise on the Wish, so I had a lot of things I had to check off. But it seems like really a lovely and quiet place.
It does. If you're going on the Wish because you want to try it out, or I've heard the Wish is really, really great for families and for kids specifically. The Rainforest Room is like the place, it seems like, for adults, as compared to like the Dream and the Fantasy, where they have them kind of built in where you don't need to purchase a separate pass to go enjoy other areas. So that's where I tend to prefer the Dream and the Fantasy that have those already. But the Rainforest Room, like I said, is an addition from the spa. And you can purchase a daily pass on some ships, I believe still. Is that correct? The Wish, I think only right now, it's only the duration of your cruise, right?
So they don't advertise that you can get a daily pass.
Okay.
But if you go and you talk to the spa, then I can't guarantee anything. But I know that I have had clients come back and have, like, it's not, they want you to buy the length of cruise pass. Right. That's the thing. They don't want you to buy a daily pass. But I have talked to people that have been able to get them. So
in addition to a kind of sitting out area, they have these different showers.
Yes.
And one will be like a cold shower, one will be a warm, and they're kind of different themed around tropics.
And they all have aromatherapy, so they all smell lovely.
They usually have a couple spas in there too, like a sauna and stuff like that.
So they have a dry sauna which overlooks the ocean on the Dream and the Fantasy. It's like floor to ceiling glass window. Phenomenal. I love sitting in there so much. They have a steam sauna, and then they have I forget the word for it. I'm sorry. I used to be in the spa industry, and I feel like I should know all this in the back of my head, but there's a combination sauna as well. And also each of those saunas have aromatherapy too. So it's just, you don't have to get a spa service in order to just like indulge and relax in the Rainforest Room. And you can also come and go as you please. If you have the daily pass, you can go in the morning, go have breakfast, go back to the Rainforest Room. Like I would go there, like I would make a day of it if I had just a day pass.
And the Dream and the Fantasy also have. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No, you're fine.
They have these. They're tiled, heated seats that kind of.
I've seen those.
Have
oh my goodness.
They kind of look like
conform
a kind
to
of
your
serpentine.
body.
They form to your body. They're very comfortable to sit in. Because they're warmed underneath. So initially, I looked at them and thought, I don't want to sit on tile. It's going to be cold. You do not get cold. It's lovely. It's very warm.
Yeah.
And so you can sit there. And again, on the Dream and the Fantasy, those are overlooking the water, and they have this spectacular view.
It's just behind the jacuzzi as part of the Rainforest Room.
There are two jacuzzis up there as well.
Yes. There's serene music playing overhead.
Can I ask you both all of you, the affordability of this pass? Are we talking, is it like a pretty big expense? Are we talking on the affordable side? You don't have to give me specific pricing. I just want to know.
Especially like on the longer cruises.
Yeah.
It's not. It's 100. So I bought the length of cruise pass for the Rainforest Room on our Alaska cruise. That was a 7-night. You want to say maybe it was like $120. I'm not sure.
Oh, for 7, yeah, it's not bad.
And theirs is completely different on the Wonder and the Magic from what Chloe and Chris were talking about on the Dream and the Fantasy. I had been in the one in the Dream and the Fantasy, or I had been in the one in the Dream, and loved it. Like, I went on that when I went on the very first ship that sailed after COVID shut down, and when that was going on, it was you booked a 2-hour block, and it was just
and it's
the
just
people
you
in your stateroom.
Yeah.
So that was
that's
fantastic.
cool. Yeah,
I was
gonna say, I was like, oh.
Yeah, because it was me and my boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And so it was like we had the whole place to ourselves.
Oh my
for 2
gosh!
hours.
Wow.
Yeah,
Like,
it was phenomenal.
That was great. So
So it's not even just adults; it's adult exclusive.
Yes.
Where you're just
Yes.
like, now I've gotten rid of the children. Now I need to get rid of the other human beings.
right.
You're like,
So
perfect.
that, like,
Yeah.
that was fantastic. So on the Wonder, it is a completely different. It does not have nearly as many amenities. It doesn't have the jacuzzis and all of the different steam rooms and everything like that. It's got showers and it's got the tile loungers. It's laid out very weird though, because you walk in the door and you're staring straight at the 5 tile loungers. So I bought it because I wanted to go and sit and take a 2-hour nap every day on the tile loungers. It's just, I wanted to get away from everything and everybody and be able to go in there and take a nap on those tile loungers for 2 hours. And I did.
Will someone come and poke the body
for
eventually,
you.
or are they
And-
like, Miss, are you awake?
Yes. Well, and that's the thing, is you're laying back on these loungers and people are coming in the door and you're just like eye contact and you're in your swimsuit. It's very weird and it was very awkward.
You like what you
I
see?
I like covered my face with the towel. I'm like, I just hope nobody comes in and like recognize me and be like, oh, I saw Elaine snoring on the towel.
Well, if you're looking to meet Elaine whenever you're on a Disney cruise, you know where to find her now. Look for the body snoring in the Rainforest Room.
But yeah, no, I do. I love them. It's very nice.
So my like one place that I really enjoy, and I don't think it's adults only area, is like on the Wonder, I believe, because it was on our Alaska cruise, because there was that guy who was obsessed with Liverpool that was there, that Craig and I have told the story about, which is fine, good for him. But it's a British pub, and they serve
O'Gill's.
Is that what it is? O'Gill's. They serve a gin and tonic, but they give it to you in a teapot, and it's filled with ice, and it was like you pour it into your other little cup, and then you get a little macaron. I don't know if they're still giving you the macaron, because they didn't when I was on that Alaska one, but it was like I've never felt so fancy, so gay, but also while having my drink, and I am gay, so I can say that. While having my little
extra,
macaron.
like, food out there too.
Yes,
Like a
yeah.
little, like, mini buffet.
Yeah, they had like little corn dog nuggies and everything when I was in there, and I was just like, so that's why I was like, I feel like I remember a child running in and trying to take food, but it was like very quiet down there because there really weren't a lot of kids or anything down there. So that's one of the areas where it's like I liked the unique drink, and you'd think, oh, it's going to be like a sports pub, it's going to be overrun, it'll be like Rose and Crown at Epcot. No, it wasn't like that at all.
That's what I would have thought, is like if there was games going on, that's where people would be watching them.
Yeah, and you know what? I can't speak to that because I don't know if that was because I will tell you that every time I went in this one, it was like there was like maybe 10 people at most,
and
even
that's
when
what
they
I
had
was
trivia.
thinking, because I went in with you a few times, and it was like.
Did we
it
go
was
for
us
trivia
and,
or
like,
something?
Liverpool guy and like other people. Like
Liverpool guy.
Yeah.
there wasn't very many people in there, which surprised me. Like every time we went in there.
Yeah, for sure.
They do trivia and stuff in there, but it feels like an underused space. They also have a piano bar on the other side of the ship from that. That's also just lovely. A couple years ago, we did a New Year's Eve, and we were kind of struggling to stay up until midnight, and we had drinks in there before they were going to set off the fireworks. It was lovely. I wanted to go back to the original question, which is why Disney cruises adults, because I've done a number of Disney cruises without my kid, and I love Disney people. You get Disney cruises generally don't get the kind of people who are just coming on for a party ship and they're going to get blotto and let's say jump off deck 10 and say, hey, let's do. Those aren't the people you get on a Disney cruise. And you also, I love talking to the other folks on board, and it's an element of you aren't going to get a carnival nightlife that, or some of I imagine I haven't been on Virgin, but you're not getting people staying up until 2:00 in the morning because a lot of people have kids. But I also like a certain element of multi-generational families, people who are there with their kids. I think there's a lovely aspect of that. I had one friend who is not a Disney fan and went on Disney and said, "Oh, it's too much Disney." And I can totally understand that. I, of course, don't mind. But I think it's a big piece of the ship is not only the crew, who are amazing, but also the people who are on board are, by and large, really lovely people to deal with.
I agree.
I think that's, in my experience, I think or just like even thinking about it right now, is that, the thing not only that sets it apart is Chloe, you said it in the beginning too, and Chris, you just said it too, again, is that you do get that sort of, Disney has been known for like the Disney difference. I think it is on display the most on cruise line.
Yes.
I at like the Star Cruiser hotel, when that was still operating, there was a lot of cast members there where I'm like, I think a lot of them had come from Disney Cruise Line or something, but it was like, it's the best of the best. It's like the creme de la creme. And I don't mean that in a negative way toward anyone that works in the parks or any other lines of business or anything like that. But there is this just like extra element of like, they say at Disney, the turn of phrase a lot of times is going above and beyond, and is like the above and beyond is the standard.
It feels like the golden age of the theme parks, that Disney difference that they had then.
Yeah.
And like you said, no, it's nothing against what it is now. It's just the parks experience has changed so much in the last decade even.
Yeah.
It's
less guests to deal with on a cruise line too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that too. But I feel like cruise line is just like that moment in time, and it's just they've kept that up. And it's great.
I mean I appreciate so depending on what ship you're on, there are Chloe already said it, one of the there's different nightclubs and stuff like that. There's Chris said it, there's I think all of them have a piano bar, I would say.
I'm pretty sure,
they
Wish
do.
does.
The Wish definitely does.
Kind.
The Wish, the Wonder, the Magic. I
Yeah.
don't know about the Dream and Fantasy.
I can't remember either, but
Ooh La La and Ooh La La has a piano, and then is it Pink that's on the other ship?
Do they have a?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know.
It is
If,
Pink.
yeah.
Whatever
Pink is
whatever
on the
is
Fantasy-
not
is
Ooh
on
La
the
La.
Dream, but I don't know if it has a piano.
My comment isn't really geared toward piano bars, so I don't really know why I said it. But like,
fun.
What I'm trying to say is the Dream doesn't have any of the dancing nightclubs, and
They do.
Sure, they do.
What
They have
is-
You mean the Wish?
Tube or
I'm
the-
sorry, I meant the Wish. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
meant the Wish.
okay.
Yeah, I see. That's the thing. Sometimes the Dream and Wish are like the same thing in my brain, and it's like Adventure and Treasure are the same thing because you get treasure on adventures. Like, so it's hard for me sometimes with the names. But yeah, on the Wish is that was one of the things that I really noticed about them is that there was no more of those like nightclubs. But that also is a thing where I have noticed as an adult, as somebody who doesn't get to go out dancing as often as they would, who is terrible at it. Chloe has been witness to it. Is I kind of want a little bit of that, and that's the thing where it's not there on the Dream. They do have them on the other ships, but they're not super popular. But what is fun about it is when you I like that one, so you have private dancing. The other part of that too is that when you do get people that are in there doing that, they're a lot more social because Chris, I feel like you said it earlier, is that it's that sort of Disney adult edge where it's like you are on a ship that you can almost count on 9 out of 10 times someone you're going to talk to, you all have this thing in common that you like, right? So it takes that sort of element, that little bit of awkwardness off. It's like when you go to like a comic convention or something like that. You're like, we're all nerds here. So you're like, that, if I'm going to bring up
We have
something.
our secret handshake.
Yeah, exactly. It's like me when I go to my Power Ranger one. I was like, well, I know everyone here loves Power Rangers. Like, it's that's what you feel about like on a Disney cruise. And so I feel like it adds this element of like social. It removes that sort of social awkwardness a little bit. I mean, I will make it awkward for you 100%. Don't worry. I'm just that type of human being. But I like that where it's like, I'm not overcrowded. It's not that same vibe of like, I like to drink, and especially when I'm on vacation, I love to have a themed cocktail or, fun beers or anything like that. So even though the Wish doesn't have those dancing places, they have a great, I like that pub that's like steampunky. I don't know what it's called. the one with like the octopus. Does it have an octopus? It's like brass.
Oh.
I have the mug.
I can only think of Periscope
It's
Pub.
like a
That stuff doesn't
submarine
exist yet.
It's the one that is Periscope
going-
Pub
yes,
on the Wish,
Treasure.
but it's not what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 6, 7, 8 or something.
Yes,
like
that's
that.
it's numbers. That's what it was. But I bought the like glass mug up there, and it was like I got excited to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go back up," like to go and like hang out in there and stuff. And so there's like some of those elements for me, which is cool because they had an exclusive beer like that. What you could only get by being in here, and
Yes,
I love
they
that
can
stuff.
You can only get Le Fin du Monde there.
On
Which
tap.
you can get it at Canada in the
Yeah.
in the parks or in Epcot, but you could only get it at that bar on Disney Cruise Line.
I mean, see, I love Le Fin du Monde, so that's why I'm like,
So do I.
I have a bottle in my refrigerator right now that I bought at Trader Joe's when they had it like last Christmas. It's like a big
You
one
can't
with a
find
cork.
it. I can't find
It's hard to
you
find.
can't
It's like
get it
impossible.
anywhere
Yeah.
in my 150-mile radius of my
Well,
wireless.
if I see it again, Elaine, I'll buy you a bottle. I'll buy you a thing. Yeah, that's why I was like, I bought it because I was like, oh, I love
They
this.
don't have Dancing in Luna on the Wish.
Is Luna the one that's like?
It's a
That's the
two-level-
multi-level family one.
Oh.
I think that they do. I personally didn't see it happening.
I didn't
that
either.
Much
I was-
But
on my
I was
sailing.
only on the media cruise, so I don't
They
know.
have
But-
like a midnight Oogie Boogie Bash dance party.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Is it for families? Or is
I
it for
think so.
adults?
She
I
though?
think
said-
it's
Okay.
family friendly.
Because
yeah.
I was just going to say, we were on the media sailing
can't
of
remember.
the Wish,
Maybe it
which
wasn't. I don't know.
I know that they were still, play testing a lot of things
Yeah.
because it was one of the first sailings ever. But there was the most adults ever on that sailing because
yeah.
of it being a work cruise. And there was not a whole lot of nightlife going on. Like, I remember the pub was packed, the Rose, the
Rose. That's the one I was
Rose
thinking of. That
outside
one
the
was
Palo
full. Yeah.
every night. Like there was every single bar was packed, and there wasn't a whole lot of like adult activities planned. So I feel like we didn't really get a fair shot at what exactly they have, because I know Luna is a multi-level like family, but it can also be adult centric after a certain time.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's where they do Match Your Mate at.
gotcha.
Even though it's completely open.
Yeah.
And the one that I saw was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
That's how
Push the boundaries, shall we say. I will say just a couple of tips for if you're looking for an adult-only cruise.
Yeah.
Like we did Norway, the Norwegian Fjords cruise that was early September. Choose some dates is much more, when kids are in school, you're going to have higher population of adult on the ship than kids. I think on our Norwegian Fjords, there were, they actually gave us a number. It was like 55 or something. I mean, there were
Wow.
very, very few kids.
I think the transatlantics.
The transatlantics,
Very few kids.
the
And that's-
Panama Canal, all those much longer ones, because there are times and lengths and stuff. It's hard to get folks with kids to do it.
And that's the
so.
thing. I don't want people to think that a Disney ship is completely overrun with
Yeah,
kids either.
correct.
I can tell you from my client base, I would say at least 50% is all adults traveling.
Yep.
See, the thing I appreciate about Disney Cruise Line is that they have these exclusive areas like Chris, you said at the beginning of the show, the quietness of like the adult pool and stuff, and it's not just this like corner that was like, oh, we had to section this off, and it's like, you're looking at like it's separated, like it has those like things
Right.
you go around the divider thing and stuff.
I don't
and,
know
like,
what they do with the noise because it doesn't come. Now, I will say on the Wish, it's the disappointing thing to me is the adult areas in the back of the ship.
Yeah.
It is not really quiet because you're getting the speakers from the movie that are coming back, and it's also postage size stamp small.
And
Yeah,
the
that one
one
was very
hot
small.
tub that they gave adults on the Wish is right below the it's not the aqueduct. What's the slide called on the
Aqua
Wish?
Mouse.
The Aqua Mouse. It's right below a speaker for the end scene with Mickey and Minnie. And
Right.
so every feels
every
like
couple
2 minutes,
yeah.
you have Mickey and Minnie saying the same line over and over right above the adult hot tub. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why was this the choice?
Yeah.
It's kind of making you get the Rainforest Pass so you can go enjoy that area, which is what I was kind of alluding to before, is how I feel like they, to enjoy more adult spaces, they wanted you to get that Rainforest Room Pass, whereas like the Dream and the Fantasy has those spaces already built into it.
Well,
So it really depends on what you're looking for.
And that sounds like it's an important thing in the decision-making process too, then, because it is like, okay, I've just said it. Like the dancing part of it. I mean, that's not going to make or break me, but it is like nice to be like, oh, it's there if I wanted to use it. And again, like I said, I think maybe it's not on the Wish or the Adventure because I'm assuming because it's like wasn't as popular on these other ships or has lost its popularity. But at the same time, I'm like, I like a private dance hall. That's fine. It's my dream. Somebody film me in slow motion and get me doing it.
The other piece that they do on many cruises is they'll often have somebody from the shows who has been on Broadway and is a Broadway caliber, and they're usually somebody who like, wow, that person's really good. They're usually a Broadway caliber star, and they will have a night where they do like their favorite Disney songs or something, and it is so fun to watch. Cool. I always love seeing it, and it's fun to hear their stories. It's very more casual. Don't know whether it's kids invited or not. I can't remember when I've gone, but it's a lovely experience to go and do those.
Just stemming off of that, one of the best experiences I ever had with Nightlife was we just caught this piano player. It was at Ooh La La, actually, one of my recent Halloween on the High Seas cruises. And I forget his last name, but his name is Jonathan. And you could request anything from him, and specifically parks related, which like that got me really excited. I requested like the Epcot entrance background loop from like the 80s and 90s, and he knew, like he was like, oh yeah, and he just started playing it. He played Illuminations, he played Spectrum Magic. I have chills talking about it because we saw him on like the second night of our 7-night voyage, and we made it a point to go to every single activity that he's a part of. He did like like Disney Tunes trivia. He did a family piano night. He did a lot more like an Ooh La La, and that was the highlight of our Halloween cruise, was seeing this piano player. So awesome. I love that though, and I love the variation that Disney Cruise Line offers that as well, because you have like acts like Buckets and Boards where they have their adult only act and their family act. So if you know a specific act that you like to see, typically they'll have like an adult only exclusive show too. Comedians and magicians, same way. I thought of something else when you were speaking, and I completely forgot. So somebody else wants to start talking, and I'll come back to it.
I would say the piano bar on the Wish, the guy that was in there was playing Umbrella by Rihanna.
Oh, I love that.
It was very lovely.
I remember.
In the live music, I think on board there's lots of places for it, and this is an adult only. But when I was on the Magic this last time, there's a place off to the side that they've now themed around Soul. They have live music there, and it was
Cat Lounge.
Yeah, a great spot. Kind of between. We would go there for drinks before dining. But my son and I would do dancing when he was 4 years old, and he would, with live music, and it's like a lovely experience. So you get to enjoy those moments.
I was just going to say, I know I've been romanticizing the dream and the fantasy a lot, but I would like to say there is something to be said about the Magic and the Wonders adult district as well. Yep. My very first ever Disney cruise was on the Wonder, and I was a kid, so I did not get to enjoy that then. But this last one, I was also in the Magic just a few months ago, and I was able to enjoy those spaces for the first time. Their pool area is huge. It's like a family adult pool, or a family area pool sized in the adult section.
In the Magic and Wonder, you get that great bar that's kind of covered.
Yes.
And we had a rainy day, and we were sitting there having a drink in that covered area. It was
all the
lovely.
You could find a lounger at any time in the adult area. And also Keys, the piano bar. I was there almost every night of our cruise. That was wonderful. What are the other...
I can't remember the names
blanking.
of them,
There's no Gills or no Gills equivalent on the Magic as well. But yeah, I just wanted to mention the Magic and the Wonder are also wonderful.
Does Disney offer adult-only excursions?
They do.
They do. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know as well, because I feel like we've talked a lot about like the life on the ship, but it's good to know that like also that doesn't limit you to going off the ship. And also we've mentioned in other videos, I don't remember if we said it in this video, but there is the adults-only area on both of the islands, right? Both Lookout Key and Castaway Key. Mm-hmm. So it's not limited. That's if you're worried that you're like, oh, well, it's just that part, and then I'm going to be overrun with children like they're fire ants coming out of the ground in Florida. Don't worry about it. But that is my fear.
Or on a flight to Florida, let me tell you.
Oh my God!
But
don't
the
even get
thing
me
about
started
Lookout is the Serenity Beach is connected to the family beach, but both times that I've been there, It was not an issue. They had like
Well, it's
cones
fine.
marking
Kids
it,
can be
and it
seen but
was-
not heard, so that's fine.
And it was not an. I know initially I saw a lot of people going, kids are going to be all over it. It was not an issue. There was
No,
plenty of kid
they've
space. And
spaced them out. They've
it's-
got kind of a big blank space
Yeah.
between them, then space them out. And on the whole, like, overrun by kids thing, something that is you'll find on Disney that they do better than other cruise lines, in my opinion, is the level of activities, the amount of activities that they are doing for kids. The kids want to be in the kids clubs.
Yeah, because where else in their
Whereas-
life do they get those?
Right. Whereas on other ships, they are wanting to do all of the activities and the attractions and the things going on the ship, rather than being in the kids clubs. Kids want to be in the kids clubs.
The kids
so
clubs are
much.
cool too. Like I've
Right,
toured them
all
for
of
work.
The stuff
Yeah.
that they're doing that you don't have kids running up and down the hallways and in your way and that kind of thing, because they're doing the activities that they're there that they want to be doing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so that there you have it. I think we've kind of demonstrated there's a lot of stuff. If you have any more questions about sort of the adult-only offerings that Disney Cruise Line has, I'm sure you can reach out to Elaine and Chris, and they'd be happy to assist you. But how could they reach out to you, Elaine?
My email is Elaine, ELAINE, at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
And what about you, Chris?
I am Chris V. So that's CHRIS V. There is a Chris at Dreams Unlimited, but I'm Chris V at dreamsunlimited.com.
Yeah, and then Chloe, you and I could just, in passing, like, yeah, whatever. We'll answer the comments on the YouTube video. So if you're watching this, please feel free to leave some comments, questions, anything like that. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget about clicking that bell and you get notified whenever we have new content. And if you are listening out there, when you get a second, if you want to rate and review the podcast, we'd appreciate that as well. But thank you, everybody out there, for your continued support. Don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel when booking your next Disney Cruise Line vacation. Because again, remember, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and you can get up to $1,000 in a shipboard credit that you can use on this cruise. Lots of drinks that you could be having down in that adults only area. All right, this ship is coming ashore, and I'm going to say bon voyage, everyone.
Whoa.